Hey everyone, thanks for checking in. Now, if you saw the most recent recap of our Colorado trip, you know we just wrapped up our beautiful drive through Ute Pass. If you haven't seen that one yet, the link is below, so go check out that video when this episode's over. To pick up where we left off, we fueled up in the town of Kremling and started our journey back east. To make the most of the time we had left in the day, we followed our route back through Byers Canyon. We were definitely okay with that since it was a wonderful stretch of mountain road. We had our sights set on the area known as Devil's Thumb. The twisty roads looked very inviting, and the best way to get there on the dirt was to once again run through Cottonwood Pass, this time in the opposite direction. As we moved east, we pulled off the gravel and onto the pavement, heading in the direction of the town of Tabernash. Shortly after Tabernash, we were back on the dirt and looking for the Devil's Thumb trailhead. What we expected to be a fairly simple route to follow got a bit confusing with the signs stating dead ends or private drives. Eventually, we found our way through on this forest road, but it would take four-wheel drive to follow it up along Herd Creek. As the route climbed, we were all glad to be back in the pine-covered mountains. The sharp turns and shelf roads were a welcome drive after the wide-open meadows earlier in the day. These mountain roads were getting much steeper than the camera suggests. On the downhill portions, I used the Frontier's hill descent control to give the brakes a bit of rest and to help keep them in good nick. This was not the place to start having brake problems. When we arrived at the Devil's Thumb trailhead, it was a welcome sight. The little dam here on Cabin Creek made this a great place to just soak in the mountain scenery for a while. The trail here takes you east to the actual Devil's Thumb Pass, mountain, and lake along the Continental Divide. A significant hike for sure, and something we hadn't planned on. So we headed back out along Aqueduct Road toward the town of Fraser. Before we left home, I had made a route taking us up into Ute Pass Road, south of Winter Park. But some signs and a bit of Googling had us rethinking a better route, as the difficulty level of Ute Pass Road was probably going to exceed our vehicle setups. To avoid getting stuck or having to turn back, we decided to continue south on Highway 40, which, despite all the road construction, delivered incredible mountain views around every turn. The day was getting late, and we had heard horror stories about the traffic around Idaho Springs, so we headed south towards Georgetown to find a place to camp for the night. We took Geneva Road up into Ute Pass. However, each campsite we found was already full. Our only option was to continue climbing up and over the summit. We hadn't seen much wildlife today, but seeing this medium-sized bull moose right along the side of the road was well worth the wait. Not sure if it was the water or sap from the wood fence, but he was definitely finding it delicious. As we kept climbing, the temps kept dropping, and we quickly found ourselves in a snow squall in late August. We hadn't prepared for winter camping or even winter driving, so we kept pressing on, eventually dropping in elevation and finding a campsite that would work well for the evening. Now I apologize because I didn't record much when we got to the camp the previous night, but we did wake up the next day to a beautiful morning. We'd been gone from home now for about a week, and we decided to use our last day as an opportunity to run back up into the Black Hills instead of racing across the grasslands in Nebraska. We turned our bumpers toward Denver, where we'd eventually roll north toward Cheyenne, Wyoming. As we zoomed in toward Denver, Wade suggested a stop at the legendary Red Rocks Amphitheater. Now, I'd never seen a show there, but I did visit it about 20 years ago or so. I was all up for another visit, that was for sure. If you get a chance to go for yourself, do it. It's an amazing place. To get to the Black Hills area by the end of the day, we really had to make some tracks. So to use trucker lingo, we put the hammer down and headed north. Now, we didn't have a campsite in mind, but Corey mentioned finding a campsite near Hot Springs, South Dakota on the southern edge of the Black Hills. His idea was a great suggestion, as we were greeted with an awesome sight on the way there, this small herd of buffalo grazing just off the highway. We made camp tucked in along the Cold Brook Reservoir, a very nice campsite nestled below a rocky ledge away from the winds that can blow pretty strong here. This was our last night together, and tomorrow morning we'd be making our separate ways back home to Minnesota. I woke up pretty early and took the opportunity for a quick walk by the reservoir before packing up. What a gorgeous late summer morning. It wasn't long, and we were again on the road and headed for our own homes. This entire trip west was an incredible experience. The barbecue, the Badlands, the Black Hills, just fantastic. We had a great time at Overland Expo Mountain West, and then exploring the Rocky Mountain areas west of Loveland and Denver, Colorado. Thank you, Pat, Wade, and Corey, for an awesome time together. I had a ton of fun for sure. Be sure to check out their social media pages too. They have some amazing content and photos you definitely need to see. And finally, thank you all for your time, for watching, and letting me share this amazing Colorado experience. I'm sure we'll all be traveling again next year, so be sure to subscribe to catch whatever crazy trip we decide to do next year. So until the next one, take your adventures on a path less taken. See you later.